2. Mic check, check, check. Ooh, let me just double check. Do we sounding cool? Gonna get into this class real quick. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just need to verify that this volume is working. And we are locked in. Check, check, check. Good morning, good morning. There we are. Real quick. Check, check. Yep. Cool. Peace, 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 peace. Good morning, good morning. Here to do a quick class today. Give folks a second. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Let's see here. Okay, got that together. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bam. Yeah. Boom. I like that there. That right. There it is. I like it. I like it. I like it. We'll drop this down real quick for a second. We're just about ready. Let's see. I don't know about that one. Can we do that one? Do that for right now. Oh man. Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami the Moorish American. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. We have the first of a video series, Moorish American Studies. This is going to be a series directed for true Moorish Americans and any other American citizen or person from a different nationality for that case. But specifically when it relates to Moors, this is a series for true Moorish Americans interested in learning about the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, his actual teachings, learning about how to become a Moorish American in the United States legally, righteously, the right way, how to help uplift fallen humanity, and how to join a quality Moorish Science Temple or a legitimate Moorish Science Temple. So that's kind of what these video series are going to be directed on or focused on. I did want to say right off the bat, if you are one of the Moors or Moorish people who support the sovereign citizen stuff, or I'm a Moorish Moroccan national, or Taj Tariq Bey, RV Bey Publications, any of that kind of stuff, these spin-off organizations, just avoid this video. This is actually for true Moorish Americans. And so just, that'll make everything easier. Now that we got that out the way, I wanted to talk to you real quickly about the general laws for the Moorish Science Temple of America. And these, let me get you a link where you can find them at and read them for yourself. Just so that you can see. Here goes one link. I'm going to drop 2 links in there for you. Just in case. Boom. So you can see it from 2 different sites and confirm the information. It's not just me telling you. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to read it and verify for yourself. But I found I was doing some studying and just reviewing some things, and I was like, man, nobody really focused on these general laws before. I couldn't see any videos of anybody really going in depth about it. I definitely have read over it in a video or 2, but nothing specifically focusing on the general laws. So I wanted to do that real quick, read them, and just go over them real quick for people especially for Moorish Americans that are kind of new to this. And shout out to the brother that sent me a comment asking me how to help with his mom who has been misled by some of these false teachings and some of these scammers. Um, this is for individuals like that that are coming into this information and don't really know what's going on. They're seeing a whole bunch of videos online and not really sure, is this a legitimate temple? Should I trust this temple? Should I sign up here and give them my information? Should I contribute and donate funds to this one? Hopefully by the end of this video series, you'll be able to have a clear understanding of a legitimate Moorish Science Temple of America, a legitimate Moorish American, and this whole movement versus the scammers, the frauds, the liars, because that is an unfortunate situation that we found ourselves in. There are a lot of people claiming to be Moorish American, people claiming to be grand sheiks or leaders of temples, but they're not following the laws or the principles or the teachings of Noble Drew Ali whatsoever. In fact, they've actually created their own beliefs, their own ideology, and are tricking people into following that. So it's just to clarify, you know, this is the general laws for the Moorish Science Temple of America, and it reads, every temple, the head of every temple are to function by words, deeds, actions imitating the prophet, especially when teaching Moors, any group of Moors. These are the general laws. The supreme laws will be handed to you tomorrow night. There's actually a few, what seems to be like small um, clerical errors or, typos. But I just wanted to leave it exactly how it is because I don't want to seem like I'm changing anything. The supreme laws will be handed to you tomorrow night. The Supreme Council will be chosen tomorrow, consisting of 7 men, tried and true, accepted by you according to their words, works, and deeds. And when I read this sentence over, I said, oh, duh, that's the main reason why you don't see many Moorish Americans or Moorish leaders or grand sheiks, for that matter, speaking about these general laws, even though these are general laws. These are laws for the general purpose. You know what I mean? Um, because it speaks about the Supreme Grand Council. We're not even going to get into that, but it's a very important aspect of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And if your temple leader, the Grand Sheik, doesn't know about that, isn't educating or informing you about that, that's a red flag. And you might want to, you need to either encourage him to or her to start teaching about it or find a different temple. Continuing on, let's get into the first one. The head of all temples, get that out of there. Cool. The head the head of all temples are to give an account once a month of all finances into the grand body and the grand sheik, grand sheikess, governor, and grand governor of any said temple, uh, and are to work hand in hand and intercede that the prophet is the law. They are to know that they are part of the law and must obey. So this first law right here, it clearly says that once a month, an account must be given of all finances to the grand body, the grand sheik, grand governor. If you don't understand, there is the grand major temple, the main temple, and then there's branch temples that started out after that. All of the branch temples should be sending a report into the main body temple every month to account for the finances. So I want to pause right here and just ask you, if you're a part of a temple, if you're a Moorish American, you're a part of a Moorish Science, and you're part of a Moorish Science temple, ask your Grand Sheik or the Grand Sheikess, are we sending in a report every month on all finances to the Grand Body and the Grand Sheik? If they are not, they are in violation of the law. Not my opinion, not my belief, not how I feel about it. This is just the facts of the matter. And this applies to all temples, all the heads of all the temples. They all should be sending in a report every month, documenting the finances, making sure that there's a record. So it's not just you're donating money to this fund and you don't know where it goes or what's being done with it. No accountability, no accounting of it. That's what this is for. Let me continue. The heads of all temples are to by force refrain from all wrath, words, profanity in the mildest form from his members. No profanity. Seems simple enough, right? So if you see Moors and they cursing left and right, they violating the general law. You need to pull their coattail. And especially if you're a head of a temple, you're supposed to make sure that they're not using that kind of language. And not even just profanity, but wrath words also. Um, Number 3, they must live the life of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and refrain from all alcoholic liquors or any other harmful things that will terminate. It says terminate to destroy peace, but I think it may admit that will terminate or destroy peace or any other of the divine principles. Powerful. So we're supposed to refrain from alcohol, alcoholic liquors, or any other harmful thing that will terminate or destroy the peace or any other of the divine principles. Very powerful, something for us to consider. Um, let's see, scrolling down. Number 4, uh, they are not to contribute to anything that will cause the public to disagree with he or she. And for one to lead a group of Moors, you must keep your house clean, clean with good deeds, kind words. Your wives, brothers must hear good words, kind words, and must know of your good deeds. Very powerful, self explanatory. You shouldn't be contributing to anything that will cause the public to disagree with he or she. Mm, mm. I'm going to try to keep my opinion out of it. Just read the laws. Number 5. If there are children, you must see to their support. Follow this divine principle, for if you don't restrict to this divine principle, then you are not a true Moor. Powerful. So we ain't even have to deal with child support and any of those issues. You must see to their support. This is a general law for Moorish Americans. Powerful. The heads, number 6, the heads are not to charge for membership or to overcharge for cards, buttons, or for anything issued by the prophet. Those who contribute to either of the preceding are not Moors, but robbers. I'm going to read that sentence again, okay? The heads of the temples are not to charge for membership or to overcharge for cards, buttons, or for anything issued by the prophet. Those who contribute to either of the preceding are not Moors, but robbers. Membership, sisters and brothers, is free, not only here, but all over the world. The button is 25 cents. The card is 25 cents, and 1 month's dues is paid. Every member pays 50 cents a month for dues. This money goes towards the support of the temple. This, if not paid, does not entitle you to the protection that is provided for you, and especially if you're not working or in the position to work. If you neglect to fulfill this small duty assigned to you, how can you rightfully expect money or other help when you are sick or otherwise disabled? Powerful, powerful. I just want to highlight, we're not to overcharge for anything issued by the prophet. Those who do are not Moors, but robbers. This is what Noble Drew Ali said now. Powerful. That we should be paying our month's dues, right? And there's also an emergency fund that you should be paying into. But again, all of these funds and these finances, what you should be paying, it should be accounted for via a report that's submitted by the head of your temple every month to the grand body temple, the grand sheik and the grand body. Everybody should have a record of that. You understand how that transparency would alleviate a lot of the problems that we're dealing with? Let me finish reading. To be a real Moorish leader, you must study the Quran and the divine constitution that is handed down unto you by I, the Prophet. Number 8, the head of any temple can maintain an emergency fund, which cannot exceed the amount of from 25 cents to 50 cents a week per member. All public collections and dues also go to the support of the temple and its domestic work. Also want to make clear real quick that this is 1920s. So when they're saying, the emergency fund cost is 25 to 50 cents per week per member, if you look up how much is 50 cents from 1925, let's say, how much is 50 cents from 1925 worth today, you could see, you could get a real understanding of how much you would need to be contributing every week or every month to your temple. And it's not, it's not that much. I think it's like $5 or something like that. So it's relative. It's not very much. If you saved $1 a day, you'd be straight. Number 9. That's number 8. Yeah, number 9. The head of every temple must, by law, obey the word of the prophet. And if any leader or head of any temple fails to obey these laws, the general laws, okay, embezzlement is his charge and is subject to the enforcement of the law by the grand body. And the penalty may be a fine or removal from office or being placed under a very heavy restriction of the law. I'm going to read that one more time, especially for the heads of temples, if you're watching. The head of every temple must by law obey the word of the prophet. And if any leader, if any head leader or head of any temple fails to obey these laws, embezzlement is his charge and is subject to enforcement of the law by the grand body, and the penalty may be a fine or removal from office or being placed on a very heavy restriction of the law. Powerful. So again, that is the general laws for the Moorish Science Temple of America. Every head of the temple, every grand sheik, every grand sheikess, grand governor, any head of a temple, they should know these general laws, and they should be following and adhering to these general laws. They have to obey these laws. If not, they're embezzlers, they're robbers, they're not true Moorish Americans, they're not a true Moorish leader. And we got to be honest with ourselves about that and start calling it for what it is. Does that make sense? And I also just wanted to let you know that these aren't the only laws, for example. There is the general laws. There's additional laws. There is the supreme laws that Noble Drew spoke about. Then there's divine constitution and bylaws for the Moorish Science Temple of America that we also have to adhere to. And this is also in addition to the Constitution for the United States of America and any state constitution or the state constitution for the state that you're in. We have to follow and abide by all of these laws. That's what it means to be a true Moorish American. And if you see anybody out there claiming to be a Moorish American, claiming to follow Noble Drew, ask them about the general laws. If you are a part of a temple, a Moorish Science Temple of America, ask your grand sheik or grand sheikess about the general laws. Are they posted up in your temple? Do you guys review them every temple meeting or once a month even? Is a report being sent in to the grand body? These are some things you should ask your temple leader. And if they aren't doing these things, we have to hold them accountable. We have to, as it said in there, with the grand body, the penalty may be a fine or removal from office or very heavy restriction. But we can't continue to keep doing what we've been doing, because as we see, the Moorish Science Temple of America has become incredibly stagnant and unproductive, almost counterproductive. But this change isn't going to come from other organizations or from other people. It starts with ourselves. So please review this, review and study the general laws for the Moorish Science Temple of America, and start the conversation with the temple leaders or temple heads or your brothers and sisters that you know, what I mean, in your own temples, respective temples, and ask them about these general laws. Hey, are we following this? Do we have a report we sending in? Man, what about the start these conversations? Um, with that, I don't have much more. I ain't want to stay all day today. Let me see. Did I get all the general laws? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Embezzlement, talked about that. The robbers, yeah. Actually, real quick before I just hop off, I'm gonna just see what the conversion rate is. 50 cents in 1925 worth today. Okay, so according to a quick search, it's worth $9.02 today. So 50 cents is worth $9, and back then is worth $9. Let's call it $9. 50 cents back then is $9 today. So if dues is 50 cents and let's see, what did it say? The button is 50 cents, card is 25 cents. Every member pays 50 cents a month for dues. So your bill for the month for dues is $9. You know what I mean? You add in the emergency fund, you know what I mean? We're looking at 25, $30 for the month, you know. But if everybody is contributing, and it's accounted for and you're doing things properly, you could turn that into an investment. You could turn that into actually acquiring some property, having a legitimate storefront business, giving back to the community. These are the things that we can do, but we got to take care of business first. If you have any questions, please jump in to the comment section, or you can email me, and let's improve. Let's get better. Let's be better Moorish Americans and American citizens. And I think that is it. Much love to you. Love is the key. Love is the way. Love to you and yours. Let's have a great day. Peace and love.